I'm Fatima.
And I'm Sean.
And we are
Powerful Creators.
Happy New Year, Sean.
Happy New Year, Fatima. Thank you so much.
Welcome to this seventh episode of the Powerful Creators podcast.
I'm so excited, Fatima, to be here after 7 episodes, and we're starting a new year. How exciting!
Yes, and we are going to speak about how to set New Year's resolutions.
New Year's resolutions. Everybody thinks about them. Some people love them. Some people dread them.
Yes, how do you feel about them, Sean?
I love New Year's resolutions, Fatima. I have a bit of a ritual or a routine to get my year started. Often we will have a fun evening and then go to the beach the following day and walk on the beach. And even though it's oftentimes kind of cool, we're winter in the world, our beach is a cool beach in the wintertime, warm in the summer, but we still go down New Year's Day. And if the weather is accommodating, we walk on the beach, talk about our plans and points of focus for the next year, and talk about all the successes and enjoy that process. And it's a wonderful way to get the new year started out. How about yourself?
Wow, that is so inspiring, Sean. I think I remember when I was in Canada that people would go in the first day of the year in the morning, they would go to the beach to take a really cold shower. I think it was the polar
plunge?
Yeah, I don't remember the name, polar bear. But I remember that they will take a really cold shower in the beach, everybody together. But I don't know if this is really good for resolutions. But about me, I believe thinking on the resolutions before the new year. Usually during the year, I already have an intention set. And then in the end of the year, when I already feel that it was accomplished, I start already thinking on what I want to manifest after that. So I don't have something in the first day, but I do have my inner reflections along, especially the last months of the previous year.
That's really awesome, Fatima, because to get to where you're going, you have to be thankful for where you've been. And it's really great to be thankful for what you did and what you received in the previous year and invest what you've learned, and helps you get excited and really ready to manifest wonderful things in the coming year.
Yes, I do believe that when you focus on gratitude, you expand those emotions, you expand those good things that happen to you.
I agree, Fatima. Gratitude is so wonderful. Gratitude is like fertilizer, really wonderful fertilizer that you put on your garden, and all the beautiful seeds that you've planted, it just makes them grow even so much faster.
Yes, I do also believe that there is always something positive in every situation. So if we can see that and feel that and be aware of that, we will be able to always manifest and attract more good situations. It's just a matter of practice, being able to always look to everything as a good challenge, a good lesson, and to move forward for a better place, and always seeing the good perspective of every situation.
I agree 100%. That's so powerful that when you bring that mindset, when you bring that energy, even what a lot of people would call a failure isn't a failure. It's an opportunity to learn. A failure is an opportunity to learn and grow. And I don't know about you, Fatima, but I always learn more from my failures than I do from my wins. Wins are easy. You celebrate, you feel good, but you don't really learn as much as you do from when, ooh, that stings. That I need to learn something there. What is that I need to learn? So that's a really great observation.
Yes. And you know, Sean, we are speaking about setting New Year's resolutions and being able to be grateful and being able to understand what happened before and being open to new wonderful things is a great way of setting New Year's resolutions.
That's a great idea and thought, Fatima, that we should maybe expand on. When you accept that not everything is going to be perfect, but even if they are not, even if things are not perfect, there's opportunities to learn and grow. Then the time wasn't wasted, and we can be stronger and better in our coming years. And just like today, New Year's Day, we have a really great opportunity to share with people some things that will help them make this coming year, their best year ever. That's what I always love to think about. How can I make this year my best year ever?
Yes. That means, and this is an invitation for whoever is listening to us, take time to think about what you really want without judging if you can get it or not. Because anything is possible. And if you allow everything that happens to be an opportunity to grow, you will always think bigger and think that there is way more to happen. There is a huge abundance in the universe that you can have access. There is enough for everybody.
That's so wise, so well said, Fatima. There is enough for everybody, and the only thing that limits us is our imagination. And when we have a imagination that's excited and we have things that we're thinking about, it just gathers more energy and momentum behind us. So you're exactly right with that.
Mhm. There is also another topic that we wanted to share with our listeners today that is about how everything starts within ourselves always. Right, Sean? Do you want to talk about that?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Fatima, it's been my experience that everything comes through us, not to us. So, as we're setting down our resolutions, or if you maybe want to call it a different word, maybe a point of focus. So, the point of focus for the next year could be economic, it could be relationship, it could be professional. And as we work on ourselves, as we work on our mindset, as we work on our thoughts, as we have better experiences, we invest all of these things behind us. And with that positive mindset, we allow opportunities to come through us. We take inspired action when we have ideas. That's so important, taking inspired action. Do you have a couple of examples of how you took inspired action in the previous year and really great things happened, Fatima?
Yeah, I feel very inspired because this year have been really an year of enlightenment for me. I feel that one of the questions that you did really inspired me. You were always asking me, Fatima, what makes your heart sing? And I always try to set resolutions that are according to what makes my heart sing. And sometimes it also is related not only to myself, but for example, to my daughter. I know that many things that make my heart sing are related to her. So I feel even more inspired, even more empowered to really put these resolutions and focus on them and being aware of how I can reach them.
Absolutely, Fatima. It's very amazing that you mention something that motivates us. Often, the people around us motivate us more than just ourselves. We want to see our loved ones, our kids, our spouses, significant others, family, friends. We want to see the people around us happy, and we want to help those people. And I think that whenever we're helping and whenever we're lifting others, we also lift ourselves. So you mentioned a really powerful point in that helping others also allows us to help ourselves, and allow more to come through us as well.
Yes. So, in a nutshell, what we have been speaking until now is first, if you really want to set New Year's resolutions that are going to work, be thankful for what you did, feel grateful, and then take time to think about what you really want. Start with yourself first. What makes your heart sing? What do you really want? And how, in some way, people around you are connected to what you want, how they inspire you. And Sean, I would like to ask you, what do you think about the number of resolutions? Because I know this is also a great topic.
You're exactly right, Fatima. The number of resolutions is not so important as the quality of the resolutions. If you take time to think about what you really want, and let's add without judging if you can get it or not. So if you have some things in your mind and your heart that you really would like to manifest, you'd really like to improve on, hold those in your mind without judging if you can get it or not, and just have a picture of you enjoying that particular moment in time. And then ideas will come. You'll take inspired action. And if you have 3 ideas and resolutions or points of focus that make your heart sing and make you very, very excited, it's better than to have 10 things that may diffuse your efforts and energy. But it's the things that you get excited about, the things that you're passionate about. Those are the seeds that are going to take root and grow quickly and lead to those super exciting things that are going to happen in the next year.
Yeah. And in the end, it's not about the quantity of resolutions, it's about the quality. And how do you feel? What are your emotions about those resolutions?
It's 100% correct, Fatima. The emotions around your thoughts are so important. The emotions around your resolutions are so important. The emotions around the feedback that your inner voice gives you, those are so important. So you've really, really brought forth a lot of great points, Fatima, and how our listeners and are going to invest these things that you've brought in front of us to them, and it's going to really help a lot of people have that amazing year. Everyone wants to have an amazing year in January. In August, sometimes we forget. So we have to set those intentions, set those points of focus, set those resolutions where you're excited. If you jump out of bed and you're thinking about those things, and it really gives you a lot of energy and excitement to be a part of that process, then you know you're on the right track. Your emotions will tell you and give you that energy and that excitement, and that'll help you know if you're in alignment with what you should be doing.
I agree with you. And there is always those techniques that help you to stick to those resolutions and to feel the right emotion. For example, the vision board, the word of the year that we are going to speak in one of the next episodes. And also, one thing that I really love is journaling. And I believe that it clears to me what do I feel regarding each resolution. So, for example, sometimes people focus on what they have to give up instead of what they have to gain. And this might be one of the reasons why some people resist change. Sometimes we want something, but we are still putting some resistance.
You're exactly right, Fatima. Resistance is the emotion that you get when you're not in flow. You're not in the right track at that particular moment. So how do we get out of that? What we first need to do is we have to trust in the process. It's so important, and you always mention that to me, and it's one of the things that you've taught me that I take with me every day is to trust in the process. And what does that mean? Sometimes you have to just have faith. And you mentioned something too about giving up something. The thing that you do want to give up is the negativeness around the negativity around not having it. You have to let go and release the thoughts that didn't support you in the past so you can reach up and gather those new thoughts and emotions that are going to take you to where you want to go. You have to lift yourself up, but unload that heavy baggage. Let those negative thoughts go. Let those doubts go. Let those fears go. Let that negative stuff go so you can rise up and lift yourself. You'll just the energy of your exciting intentions and points of focus are going to lift you, and it'll lift you even faster whenever you've let go of those other things that don't empower you.
Exactly. I can hear in my mind someone asking, how do I keep those good emotions alive? You know, in the first day of the year, everybody is really believing and having really great emotions about what they want to manifest. But then during the year, it looks like sometimes it starts to go down, that feeling. And as a music producer and a meditation teacher, I would suggest for people to record on their phones, and now it's easy to do that. There is always an application on your phone that you can record your own voice. Record your own voice, sharing your resolutions in the most exciting and real way, the way you feel it in the first day, because when you hear that recording again, you are going to bring those emotions. You are going to feel it again if it is really something that you want to keep during the rest of the year. So write down what are your New Year's resolutions for this year, record them on your phone, and if you can, listen to that recording every day or every week, every Sunday, every month, in August, whenever you feel that you are starting to lose that excitement, just hear the recording again and let yourself involve with the emotions that you were feeling in the beginning, because sometimes it's something really, really important that you really, really, really want, and an idea, an insight that you had in a really clarity moment. But for some reason, because of some people around you, because of some conditions, some things that happened, you started to lose that feeling. But sometimes it's really, really important. And I know that you want to keep that feeling during the year. So record and listen to it.
That's a great tool, Fatima, and we all have these electronic tools now that make it so easy to record these things, to write and to record our voices. And it's not something that is bad to do, to give yourself a pep talk. If you're feeling great, record it. If you feel that you're in a really great spot, record that time, capture that moment, get excited about it. Let that carry you whenever, the work is hot in August or you're sweating and you're tired. Listen to that recording, break that out and let it motivate you, let it carry you. And something too, when you're in alignment with your purpose, you're always going to have a bridge between the idea and the completion of the idea, or moving toward that idea. So make sure that you're taking inspired action. Make sure that you're doing the thing that excites you. That helps you, and get some wins. Get some wins. If you want to, for instance, you're a music producer. If someone wanted to play the piano, and that excites them, and they want to be really great at the piano, go take some lessons. Go play the piano. Do what it is you're supposed to do. Go record yourself, and go take activities that you should be doing. If you want to practice an art, if you want to be a great artist, go draw. If you want to be a wonderful musician, go sing. If you want to start that new business, start a business. Go take action, and let those small steps feel good and capture and refocus your energy. When that energy is refocused and you're in alignment and you're feeling in flow and you feel yourself lifted and you feel your energy higher and higher, you know you're on track. And it makes the hot August days work a whole lot easier, especially when you've got that energy captured, just like you had suggested, Fatima.
Absolutely. Really well said. So, with all these insights today, I want to share that we will be speaking about the word of the year. The next episode is a really great technique to have more focus and to involve all the year in a goal, in a resolution, in a point of focus. So we will meet again next week, right, Sean?
Thank you so much, Fatima. Likewise, it's always an amazing adventure, co-creating with you and all the adventures that we share and people we visit with and ideas that we expand on. So it's super awesome. I can't wait to see what's in store for this year. It's going to be an amazing journey, and I'm glad that all of our listeners, I'm hopeful that they gather some insight from these words and that they have their best year ever. We want to lift, we want to excite, and everybody else has their best year ever as well. I know we will.
Yes, the power of mastermind.
Exactly.
Thank you so much, Sean. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you, Fatima. Thank you, audience. Thank you, everyone. We'll see you in a week.
See you in a week.
Because you can.
You deserve.
And you are a powerful creator.
Hi, I'm Fatima.
And I'm Sean.
And we are
Powerful Creators.
1, 2, 3, and we are back to the Powerful Creators podcast. Welcome, Sean.
Hi, Fatima. How's everything going? What an exciting week we've had.
Yes, the first week of the year. It's very exciting. It's always a great time. And I'm very excited today because we are going to speak about something that I do every year for at least 8 years, I think. That is the word of the year.
Fatima, I know this is very close to your heart, and I know that this is something that you've practiced for a long time, even before we met, and I know that it's served you really, really well. And I can't wait to hear more details on how you discovered the idea of it and then how you use the process.
Yes, and now you are a follower of the process too.
I am, exactly. It's I borrow every good idea I can.
Yes, and I got many ideas from you too, so I feel really grateful that I was able to share something with you that have been worth for you too. The word of the year is an intention, a word, an expression that you choose to be your guide during that year. And sometimes having one point of focus is much more worth, especially for people that get lost in thoughts. We were speaking in the last episode about New Year's resolutions, and it's great to have many points of focus that make your heart sing, but at the same time, it's good to have a bigger one. And this is what happened with the word of the year. I was reflecting about my life and thinking, what do I need this year? Maybe I need to focus more on my professional side. Maybe I need to focus more on my family area, or maybe I need to just simplify all my life. So this was my process of thought. And I believe that you have been thinking about this too, Sean, right?
Absolutely, Fatima. Could we say that the word of the year is the mission for the year that drives your other thoughts and activities? If, for example, you had a business-oriented word of the year, you might want to improve yourself financially. Maybe you're looking for a different position. Maybe you're paying down some debts. Maybe you're focusing more on that business part of it, and that could be part of your word of the year. Or if you wanted to be more centered, and achieve the inner peace, maybe there's a different word of the year that is the point of focus for the other things that sprout out of it. Is that right?
Absolutely. Exactly that. And I remember, Sean, that while you were mentoring me, especially in the very beginning when I was very lost in terms of life, you were always saying to me, let's focus on one point at a time. So today I wanted to focus on my car. We will be doing the affirmations and feeling the emotions of having the car, and I will stick to that. And it was very fast. I remember that manifesting my car was in less than 48 hours.
I remember, Fatima. You are a powerful creator, obviously,
You too.
to have manifested that so quickly. But exactly right. That's exactly right. You allow the thoughts to occupy your mind only that you want, and you describe them. You make an affirmation in the present, and the universe does beautiful things. It's really an amazing process, and if you let go of all the things that are holding your thoughts back and your creativity back, then the manifestation comes really quickly, just like your car.
Yeah. I remember that you described, when I was sharing with you the word of the year, you described with a really cool expression. You said it's a mental anchor. Remember?
Exactly. Yes, that's right. That's right. Exactly. And you mentioned a lot of us, and myself included, our minds wander. And sometimes it wanders into, gray area of maybe even a little bit of negative thinking. We're all human, and that, negativity is all around us. But if we have that word of the year, we can come back to and make sure that we're, I say, right with the world, but we were in flow, we're in alignment with where we want to go, and so that word of the year is also a great mantra whenever you're meditating.
Yes, yes. So, Sean, what can be a word of the year? Maybe it's time to start giving some ideas to our listeners. I can share some of mine. My first word of the year back in 2013 was simplify. I remember that my life was a big mess, a big confusion, many things happening. I was in need of simplifying, and I chose the word simplify. And it was really cool because I started simplifying my own house. I started decluttering. I started cleaning even my own heart, trying to understand the people I had around and simplifying all the process that I was doing and the things I was doing. And it was really, really cool. I remember that I never simplified so much as that year. And we know the very well known expression, what you focus on expands. So I was focusing on simplifying and I was expanding, simplifying in my life.
Yeah, absolutely. It's very interesting, Fatima, that your first word was to simplify. Even back then, even years ago, you knew in your heart that to have a wonderful, better life, you have to get rid of all the clutter. And a lot of those things are in your home, they're in your mind. So if we get rid of the clutter, we get rid of the things that are not bringing us forward, they're not serving us well, we're simplifying, we're decluttering, we're creating room for expansion. We get rid of the clutter, we feel good about that, and then we make room for expansion. Expansion can't occupy the same space as clutter, because clutter is it's like glue that you try to walk through. It just holds you down, it holds you back. So it's very, very interesting and exciting to me that you knew that simplifying your life was the first step.
Yes, you were the one sharing with me these days that we cannot have, like you were saying, positive and negative energy or emotions in the same space.
It's so powerful.
Yeah, really. So, moving forward in my next year after the Simplify year, I choose the word Kaizen. And this is kind of a Japanese word that mixes Kai with Zen. It means changing, but for better. And in that year, it was really interesting. I was teaching for quite few years already, and I was feeling that something needed to change. And so many things happened that year. Uh, and, that was the year in which I went from Portugal to Canada. And many things changed. What I was doing, what I started studying, everything. And it was really for a better place. So I feel that whatever you focus, it's really going to expand. So you need to be careful sometimes about what you wish. I really wish to change for better in a huge scale, and I couldn't imagine myself doing this travel. So it was really, really cool to see that. I didn't imagine that way, but I wished that, It's like you don't know where you are going to go, but you really enjoy the process. You have fun with it. I knew that I would be going to a better situation, and that's exactly what happened.
It's so amazing what happens when you turn toward what you want. It's so exciting, that story, Fatima, even without all the advanced tools that you've developed now and have learned now. You got to see progress. You got to see success. You got to see improvement. You decluttered. And then, looking back in time, you had the time to focus on what you did want. You didn't know exactly how, you didn't know exactly when, but you had faith in the process. And that's so important too.
Yeah. The coolest thing about this, Sean, is that when I start the year, for example, the following year, it was Heart Family. And then another year was Serenity. And the other one was Love. And the other one was Wisdom. And, every time I start the year with one of these words, I have no idea how that is going to change my life. I just feel that word really resonates with my heart and my soul. I really feel that I want to move forward in that direction. So when I was choosing Wisdom, for example, I never imagined how I was getting wisdom in that year, how my attitudes, my decisions, everything was changing, even my silence, the way I was in silence. So it's an adventure when you choose, and this is really a challenge for you, when you choose a word in the beginning of the year, keep focusing, keep doing that word as a mantra, as you were saying, Sean. And then during the year, you get so surprised on how that word changes your life and how it makes a huge impact.
That's so awesome and amazing, Fatima. It sounds like the word of the year is the foundation on which you're building exciting growth and new opportunities.
Yeah, exactly. I can also share more words because I believe this is going to inspire who is listening to us. And I really invite everybody to share in the comments what is the word of the year that you have in mind. I know that some people already did it because I have more friends that do this technique. Some people might be thinking right now in a word. You can share in the comments below. I was doing in 2019 the word abundance. And that year was crazy. So many opportunities, so many houses, so many things that I was having in my life and going through in a positive way. And then in 2020, I chose momentum. It was really cool to see how everything that was coming to my life was having this force, this momentum behind that was making everything even deeper, even higher, even better. And Sean, I really would like to share a little bit more about this new year's word that for me is enlightenment. I feel this word is really, really powerful. And how do you choose the word? It just resonates with you. You start feeling it's like tuning a radio station. You feel that frequency is that you can hear better, you can listen better to that radio station. It makes sense, it resonates. So when I was feeling enlightenment, I was having signals. Suddenly I was coming across these documentary about enlightenment, which title is really enlightenment. Suddenly, I was scrolling on social media and seeing posts that had the word enlightenment. So for some reason, I was feeling the signal that this is the year for enlightenment for me.
That's so amazing, Fatima. And I love how you describe the process of how you choose your word. You have a feeling, you have a yearning in your heart, and then you see signals. It's like, oh, wait a minute. I saw a documentary, I read a book, and enlightenment is the theme, it's the key, and that resonates in my heart and in my soul. And it's so awesome that you, number one, had the intention to find it. Number two, allowed it to come to you. Number three, were aware when you received signals. And number four, accepted it, or not sure how many words I put in that process, but the steps that you go through to come into that word and into how it's going to affect you in the coming years, and the process of how that word is born and what it means to you. That's so cool. Thank you for sharing that.
Thank you for putting everything in that perspective. Yes. So I have here more words that I would like to share with everybody that is listening, because they might resonate as long as I'm saying them. But I want to hear from you, Sean. What are your thoughts about the world this next year also?
So, enlightenment is such a wonderful word, and it's such a wonderful point of focus for an entire year. And you and I are always in a close harmony with things and words. I would add the word flow into my word for 2021. I feel that I'm always becoming more enlightened, and you are a wonderful catalyst in my experience and my life for that. And I love the enlightenment that we share and receive in our mastermind alliance. So that alignment creates enlightenment, and I love the flow of that. So I would add flow to enlightenment for my words for the year.
Flame enlightenment.
Flow enlightenment.
Yeah, trying to mix both words.
But yes, those I'm very comfortable in just piggybacking your word of the year, which is enlightenment. I love the momentum part, and that when you have momentum on your side, enlightenment is much easier. I love how all of your words have built on the previous words. I don't know if you've noticed that consciously, but enlightenment is built upon momentum. Abundance leads to momentum. Wisdom leads to abundance. Love is the source of all wisdom. Serenity is needed to have love. Heart family is something that's needed for serenity. Kaizen makes you aware that you need to improve, and to do any of that, you have to declutter and simplify. So that's so wonderful.
Yeah, I feel that I was always choosing the word according to how my life was changing. And like the title of this episode, the power of the word, it's really a huge power having a word to focus during the year. So I really feel that my life was changing so much every year that I was able to always upgrade my life.
And you
Not only
were.
my life, but also the world. Yeah.
Exactly. That's exactly right. And that's such an amazing story, Fatima. You've really enlightened me and given me even more things to think about, like always. And it's one of the things I think our listeners are going to gather a lot of good seeds of ideas, seeds of wisdom. And you're an amazing person for number one, even sharing all of these things. So thank you for sharing these wonderful ideas with everyone. It's really beautiful and amazing.
And Sean, let me share with you that I won't be able to manifest abundance, momentum, and enlightenment if it weren't you inspiring me for that. So I really appreciate all your friendship and mentoring.
You're very welcome, Fatima. It's a pleasure, and our friendship and mastermind are really wonderful and powerful. And I hope that what we're doing is lending ideas and enlightenment and energy to the people that's paths have crossed this recording. And I know that many people will take to heart all the things that you shared and all the beautiful stories that accompany those words. And that's really the important part.
I would like to just share a few more words. I know that some people will feel, and we have been saying some of them. You were saying harmony a few minutes ago. We have been speaking about flow, focus, renovation. I would say shine, upgrade, progress, growth, travel, why not? Habit, belief, balance, for example.
Faith.
Faith.
Faith is important.
Exactly. Gratitude, change, confidence, positivity, freedom, purpose, contentment, fulfillment, courage, exploring, strength.
There's many. Yes, you have many words. Yes, I know. I can see you're in a great state and a great flow, and something too. Sometimes in the I hear the listener already saying, "Sean, Fatima, I don't know the plan. I don't know where I don't know where I'm going to go. I don't know how I'm going to get there." And one thing that we can say is that you don't always need a plan. You don't always have to have a microscope looking at every single centimeter of their path forward. Have intention, think big, use your word of the year to think big, and trust in the process. Trust in the process, take inspired action, and things will work. You will become more aligned faster than you know.
Yes. And in that case, what I would also like to suggest is maybe choosing the word clarity or intention or a mission or a purpose or even alignment.
That's a great place to start.
You can start by that. I started with simplify, and I didn't start with enlightenment. So we don't need to start with those words that are not yet meaningful for us. So choose the one that you feel you need if you don't have clarity, if you don't have a plan. So maybe choose just the word plan, clarity, whatever it resonates to you.
That's great advice, Fatima. That's really, really great advice. And something else too is you don't necessarily have to go from simplify to enlightenment. There were several years in there where you created, you co-created, you crossed paths with people, you enjoyed this process. It's not a point A to point B situation. It's not that type of a journey. The journey, and I think the value here, or one of the values that we're discovering from this chat today, is that enjoy the process. We never get it all done. There will be a next year. There'll be a following year. There'll be more words. There'll be more inspiration. There will be other places to go, other people to visit, other experiences to share. And don't worry about getting it all done. Worry about, and don't worry at all. Focus on feeling good. Focus on enjoying this moment. Focus on the sunshine that's coming today. Focus on the rain that's watering your plants. Focus on all the good that you've manifested around you and watch that grow.
That is so well said, Sean. I will just add, let the word of the year be a mental anchor to inspire you in taking inspired action to manifesting your resolutions. And you were the one teaching me this perspective, Sean. Thank you so much.
You're very welcome, Fatima. It's my pleasure. And it's a real pleasure to visit with others via this podcast and to share these ideas that have served both of us so well. And it is very exciting. And I'm super excited to hear comments, feedback. And if you have a comment, we'd love to hear from you.
Yes, powerful creators on Instagram, on Facebook, on Twitter, on Pinterest. Just follow us and leave a comment with your word of the year, and also YouTube.
Absolutely, Fatima. It's going to be super exciting to get all of our messages on all these platforms, and we hope this message finds the listener today in a better place than she was earlier before she listened. We're sending energy, sending love, and sending wonderful things into the world, and what a wonderful opportunity.
That is a wonderful word, energy.
Ooh, I love that.
That could be a really cool word for the year also.
Ooh, that's for sure. Maybe you need to increase your energy. Maybe someone needs to put a little pep in their step. That could be a great place to start.
Yeah. Thank you so much, everybody, for being there. We will be here next Tuesday to speak about successful mindset. Woohoo!
Wow, Fatima, that's going to be fun. I'm already excited about that.
Me too. Talk to you next week.
Talk next week, Fatima. Have a wonderful week ahead.
You too. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Because you can.
You deserve.
And you are a powerful creator.
Hi, I'm Fatima.
And I'm Sean.
And we are
Powerful Creators.
Episode 9 of Powerful Creators podcast. Hey, Sean.
Hi, Fatima. How are you? What a great week we've had. It's so exciting to be back. The weeks just clicked by so quickly.
Yes, I'm great. Thanks, first of all. And we are in the middle of January and having very exciting insights, and always with this successful mindset on mind.
Exactly. So we're going to help people today start the year with a successful mindset. Is that right, Fatima?
Yes. We are going to bring a few secrets, a few tips that you can use to improve, to grow even more your mindset.
That's so awesome. I think a great place to start, Fatima, is to first of all be aware. Our listeners should be aware of their thoughts, and your thoughts are going to build, they're going to improve, or they're going to do the opposite of improve your mindset.
Yes, because I feel, especially when we speak with someone, that is easy to understand what kind of mindset does that person has. And for example, this is easy when you speak with someone that is very negative. It's easy to understand that that person has many problems or many health issues in her or his life. And the way you are aware of your thoughts makes a difference. And for example, small things like the difference between I want to win or I don't want to lose. This makes a huge difference, right, Sean?
Absolutely. It's if the universe is all inclusive, you can't pick out the things that you don't want and give them attention. You have to focus on the things that you do want.
That's why we should avoid words that are not completely positive. And we also should think in a winner way, in a successful way. If you don't think as being already successful, you will be feeling more challenges. Let's say like this, right, Sean?
Exactly, Fatima. It's maybe distill that down a little more to be aware of your thoughts. Being aware is the first step in making a change. So if you know, if the universe, if the world, if people, if your own life is giving you feedback, you know if you're a person that needs to shift their focus. How can we shift our focus, Fatima? What are some tools that we can do, some things that really would put some tools in the hands of people that need it right now. How have you done that?
There are many things that I can think right now. One of the things is being always a learner. And I remember listening to a Bob Proctor course in which he was inviting people to be studying every day, be always a learner. When we apply this growth mindset, we feel like wanting to know more. We are open to more. The more open we are, the more we allow, and the more we allow, the more we receive. And is this eagerness for success that makes us grow even more.
That's a really great point, Fatima. Eagerness for success. Yeah, that inspires. I think that inspires all the positive actions in the world. Eagerness for success. Eagerness for success for your children in school. Eagerness for success of our parents who are enjoying retirement. Eagerness for success for all the people around us. You and I have an eagerness for success for the people listening to this podcast. We're eager for them to enjoy more success, and we are eager to share thoughts and tools and ideas to lift them as well. And would part of the eagerness for success, is that built on a powerful mission? Is that built on something we're inspired about?
It can be anything. I'm feeling that the word eagerness is like a synonym of the Napoleon Hill's of success, that is the burning desire. It's like having a burning desire. And what brings the secret of the emotion? You, Sean, are always telling me that our emotions are our guide. And when I think about eagerness for success, or about having a burning desire for this growth mindset, I feel the emotions. I don't feel I want to be successful. I feel myself already successful. I feel already fulfilled. I feel already helping people. I feel already feeling inspired by people. I feel myself already committed. I feel that I like to try new things. I want to learn more. I want feedback. I feel feedback very constructive. There is a whole bunch of feelings and emotions that I feel when I think about this. Does this make sense?
Absolutely, Fatima. And I love that you brought up Napoleon Hill. And I remember from his recordings and his teachings that burning desire, number one, was the most important part of the process. He said that without a burning desire, none of the other pieces of the puzzle will fit. Without burning desire, all the other things won't fall into place. And that the burning desire, with a burning desire, you don't even need to be aware of all of the other aspects to get things started, to see change in your life. When you have a burning desire, you jump out of bed, you're excited. You want to get out and see what's going on in the world and take inspired action and receive those wonderful ideas while you're washing your hair in the shower, and the light just goes off, and it's so wonderful and it's so exciting. It's so amazing. That's the juice of life. And the burning desire is such an important part on which the rest of it is built.
Yes. And when you speak about being proactive, taking action, it remembers me how we were speaking these days about avoiding procrastination. And that was so interesting because I came across a definition of procrastination by Abraham Hicks, in which she was saying, what is the definition of procrastination? And she said, it means I can feel within my energy sensor that this action is not in perfect alignment at this time. So if you are procrastinating on something, maybe that action is not in alignment with what you want, and maybe you are having a signal of switching to another action, to another area, or maybe on meditating a little bit more to understand what is happening, how you can take action, because it's really important to take inspired action. It's really powerful.
It's so amazing, Fatima, and how you beautifully said that, and it brings to my mind an idea. If you are procrastinating on something, it's definitely not something that makes your heart sing. It's definitely something that is not something that's going to inspire you. We all have to fold the clothes that come out of the laundry. We all have to do the dishes. We all have to do those things. But they're part of, if we feel procrastination, we have to think of other ways to maybe wait until we're more inspired to do those things. Maybe be in a more meditative process where we're thinking about other things while we're folding the clothes, and revisit those thoughts and activities at a different time.
Exactly. And you know what? Procrastination sometimes is a signal that you are not on the right path. Sometimes you are chasing the wrong things, and you are not giving space to allow and receive the right ones. It's very interesting that when I was thinking about success in the past, I would think in the professional field. But success is about anything. You can feel successful on your family, on your mission. It doesn't have to be in a job. It doesn't have to be in the professional field. Right, Sean?
Absolutely, Fatima. Everyday activities done well should give us the feeling of success. Even if you're trimming your bushes, if you're doing mundane things, maybe you're washing your car, if you do it well, even though you may not be in alignment with wanting to do that, maybe you get somebody else to wash your car. Take procrastination as the opposite of inspired action.
Mm-hmm. Very well.
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah.
So powerful. Yes, I love the way I can feel who is listening right now feeling more successful, feeling success in his or her life, because it's just about feeling it, and how can you be successful if you don't feel it? How can you be happy if you don't feel it? You need to feel it.
Absolutely.
And sometimes you just need to build the situations. And you know what? If you are facing a challenge today, and we are always, so this is very common. Just believe that the challenges you face today, they give you strength that you need for tomorrow. So keep looking for what is your mission. Keep looking for the right people around you. Keep looking for the right hobbies, the things that you love to do and that make your heart sing. And keep feeling yourself successful, because the more you feel successful, the more successful you are.
Absolutely. Absolutely, Fatima. The mindset, the successful mindset, is something that comes from being in alignment. It comes from doing the things that, as you described, make your heart sing, that make you feel wonderful. You know that you're in alignment. You know you're on task whenever you're working on something and you feel it and you know it. That mindset just follows you wherever you're at.
Yeah. I just had an insight, Sean. It's more hard for me to repeat the word successful than to feel it.
It's so it's harder to repeat the word success than it is to feel it. That's interesting. Expand on that.
Because English is not my native language. That's why. So I was trying to say successful, and for some reason it was not going out. But I don't focus on saying the word. I focus on feeling it. And it's so interesting because I feel myself smiling when I speak about this. And it's because I already feel it. And this is the best advice we can give today to our listeners, is to really feel yourself already successful.
Exactly. Very, very well said. Very well said, Fatima. It's a topic and a point of focus that comes from are if we're starting the year with a successful mindset, then we have to be in alignment with where we want to go, and we're taking inspired action, and we feel that we're in flow. We feel that we're working on purpose, and that's part of it. We let our feelings be our guide. We always talk about that. Maybe a little too much, but it's so important that to have that successful mindset, you've planted the seeds that you want to see grow. And part of the successful mindset is doing that work, the watering of the seed, the pulling the weeds out of the garden that want to take over your little seed. And so all of those things we can use as a symbolic activity in our mind. So we want to tend our garden. We want to having a successful mindset is sometimes washing the dishes and also playing fun games. So there's a time and place for everything, but when we're in our flow, when we're on task, when we're working toward our mission, when we're lifting others in some form or fashion, because I think we all have to lift others to our self-rise, our energy. So as we're lifting others, we're making an impact in the world. We're doing good, and that's part of the process. And we should realize that even the simple things are important.
Yes, I agree completely. And another thing that I was thinking is that we cannot finish this episode without sharing the book that helped me so much and that you were the one telling me to read it. That is Think and Grow Rich from Napoleon Hill that we were speaking in the beginning of the episode. This book is really rich for anyone that wants to have a better, a successful mindset, because it's about studying successful people and what is the better way of growing into that direction by studying people that are already there. So listen to people that are already successful, study what they do, and if you need any help in terms of affirmations, start by telling to yourself, I create my life. I am a successful father. I am a successful businesswoman. I can learn to do anything I want. I feel myself inspired by the success of others. You know, all these affirmations and mantras, they are really, really impactful for our success journey, I feel. What are your thoughts on this, Sean?
Fatima, you bring up so many great points, and the idea that came into my mind as I was listening to your expression is the focused mind gets to where it wants to go faster than a mind that is just diffused. And we can go back to Napoleon Hill. Napoleon Hill spent his entire lifetime searching for the secrets of success, searching from how to get people from where they are to where they want to be in their life. And he left behind, obviously he's gone to the other side and been not with us for many years, but his ideas are still just as important today as they were however many years ago. The idea, he talks about a burning desire and just going through and with that burning desire, and then all of the other things that he shares. There's a wealth of information. And if one of our listeners crossed our paths today and needs or wants or feels like they want to learn more about what Hill had said and taught, there's tons of things. There's YouTube videos of him speaking, even back in black and white. You can see the age of the video, but the content is brand new and fresh. And I invite anybody that feels inspired to check him out. Check him out. Read his books. Listen to his videos. His messages have been translated in probably 100 languages. That's how important and how relevant his thoughts and his message was and is still today.
I completely agree. And the book that I love, that I have been reading almost every day, like a Bible, is The Law of Success, also from Napoleon Hill. is a more extensive version of the Think and Grow Rich and more detailed. And every chapter is a law of success. So you have mastermind, you have persistence, you have burning desire, you have all these things that we have been speaking. And it's so wonderful when you start to study every point and you connect that with real stories about Thomas Edison, Henry Ford, and so many great people. You just enjoy it like we are enjoying this episode right now.
Absolutely, absolutely, Fatima. And one of the things that you mentioned that we have and every day get to enjoy is a mastermind alliance. That's one of Hill's points of focus that we learned from him, and we know from personal experience that the mastermind alliance is so powerful. And perhaps someone that's listening today needs to go out and search for a mastermind alliance and look for the person that's in alignment with her mission, and find that person that is in an energy alignment with you or our listener, and see what happens. Mastermind alliances are so powerful. 1 + 1 = 10 when it comes to putting ideas and energy and a mission together in the spirit of harmony, as Hill had described. It's really a powerful force in this universe.
Yes, and we do have a mastermind group on Facebook. You can search on Facebook, Powerful Creators Mastermind, and it is a group in Portuguese and Brazilian that you can come in and meet other people that are like-minded people. And we also have our English pages in which we can also have this mastermind and some lives and some more things happening in which we can connect and get to know each other's and uplift each other's. Because as you said, and I will say, in our case, a 1 + 1 = 100. I would say. This is huge.
You're right.
Thank you so much, Sean. This is amazing. It's an amazing journey to do this success journey with you.
It's so fun. Every day is an adventure with you, Fatima. I wake up excited every day thinking about what sort of adventures are we going to have today? What are we going to get ourselves into? Whose paths are we going to cross? And it's an honor and a privilege to cross paths with the listeners who are listening today. I would invite our listeners to reach out with thoughts, questions, feedback, comments. Reach out to us on our social media outlets. Thank you. And we'd love to hear where your thoughts are, what this message meant to you.
Yes. And any other secret that you might have and you want to share with us?
That's right. We are definitely open for receiving secrets to the universe.
Be an infinite learner, right?
Exactly. Always. I love learning every day. So anybody has something that they would like to share with us, I'd love to learn it.
Me too. Thank you so much, everybody. Thank you so much, Sean. As this was, again, a wonderful episode.
So awesome, Fatima. Thank you for your time. Thank you for your knowledge. Thank you for your energy. And we will see everybody next week.
Next week on Tuesday.
Sounds great.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. See you then.
Because you can.
You deserve.
And you are a powerful creator.
Hi, I'm Fatima.
And I'm Sean.
And we are
Powerful Creators.
Hey, welcome to episode 10 of Powerful Creators podcast. Hey, Sean.
Hi, Fatima. How are you? This is so fun, so exciting. We're already at episode number 10.
Yes.
Very cool. This has been a pleasure. It's been so fun.
It has. And today we are going to speak about
The illusion of failure.
It's so great that you are saying the word failure, because I would fail to say failure. We are starting like this.
That's okay to fail on that word.
That's very okay, and I feel really good with it because I know every time I say the word, I'm getting better and better saying the word in the right way.
It's the context that's important, Fatima. It's how we look at failure that's important and how we classify that in our mind.
Yes, I do feel really good saying the word failure with you here because I trust in you and I know that you are not judging me and that I'm always learning with you. So I feel so good. But I wonder how some people will feel when they feel that they are failing something.
That's a great point that you bring up, Fatima. A lot of times, people and I'm not immune to this myself, especially in previous times where I wasn't aware of how to handle failure. How do you handle failure? What do we do? What importance are we giving to that word? What emotion do we feel?
That's very interesting. I was thinking right now that when I say failure, I'm not saying just to you. I'm saying to all the people, everyone that is listening to us right now. And it's kind of a funny feeling because I'm not saying it in a wrong way intentionally. I'm just saying in a better way I can. And I believe that when you do it with the right intention and trying your best and doing your best, you should always feel good because if you are failing, it means that you are trying. And if I'm trying, that is already a win because it means I'm taking the first action to have it well. So if I'm saying failure again, it means, and maybe I'm saying already better than the first time I said in this episode, like 2 minutes ago, it means that I want to be better. So I feel good when I think about that.
Absolutely. The idea about feeling good, Fatima, is the most important part. I know that you said it before, and I'll repeat it now. You say that you never fail. You simply receive feedback from your activities. And that's so important because it's the truth. If someone is taking on an activity and it didn't work out exactly how they thought, yes, you could beat yourself up and say, oh, that failed. I'm a failure. They're implanting themselves in the outcome of an activity. Then you're setting yourself up for failure. But if you look at it differently and you make peace with whatever outcome is going to happen, then you're already way far ahead and you're able to make any outcome a success.
Exactly. I came across a video from Peter Krohn in which he was speaking about losing. And he said this quote from Jack Nicklaus: one of the most important parts of winning is being okay with losing. What do you feel about this, Sean?
I think, Fatima, that's a really great point that you bring up, in that when you fear something, you're focused on it, number one, and whatever you focus on expands. So if you have a 50% outcome either way, just statistically, then if you're focused on the F word, the failure word, and you're not really focused on the outcome you really want, your fear of failure is going to skew the outcome in a favor that's not in a manner that's not in your favor. So if you come to peace and you come to terms that you don't fear failure, it just becomes one of the possible outcomes, then you're able to look at it. You're able to analyze what happened. You're able to take in what you've learned. You're able to invest that experience and making yourself for the next time, and you'll be better.
And that's exactly what happened. I was saying failure in the beginning of the episode, and I was not having fear of what people could think, any judgment that could come. and as I was not putting energy into that, I was not feeling as failing. And honestly, I'm feeling that I'm saying the word better now. What do you think, Sean?
You're definitely saying the word much better, Fatima. And as anything, if you're not failing and focused on something, then you're naturally going to get better with it. Repetition allows us to get better. And so the failure that we receive is something that we can learn from. And when we don't fear that, we learn it even better and faster.
Yes. Yes, and that's interesting because one of the next episodes we are going to bring the topic persistence, and we are going to talk about people like Michael Jordan and Joanne Rowling from the Harry Potter. We are going to bring their experiences in which they were told that they were not good or that they were failing on their jobs, and it's so interesting, and this is very special what we are going to share in the next episode, but it's so interesting how that can have a huge impact on people. And if you feel like a leader in which you are stronger, your thoughts, your inner voice is stronger, you just believe in yourself, you believe that you can win. So anything that might sound as a failure doesn't work as a failure. It will work as a energy boost for you to keep going in your direction, to move forward. Sometimes these experiences, they just they mean a growth opportunity for you, or as a signal to understand in which direction you should go.
Absolutely, Fatima. Success is built on experiences and outcomes. So some experiences and some outcomes are not always going to be the ones that we're looking for. We're looking for experiences and outcomes that are pleasant, that are wins. If we take away the win and the lose and the failure or the gain, and we simply apply the feedback rule, then we're able to learn a lot faster. We're able to invest what we have learned and become better next time. I'll share a little bit of a story, or I'll share a story with a little bit of my personal experience in it. When I was younger, I was not a good dancer. And I would ask ladies to dance with me who have obviously seen me go around the dance floor earlier in the night and not be super amazing and light on my feet. So that gave me feedback. After I got over the frustration, I knew that I needed to improve my step. I needed to improve my rhythm. I needed to become a better dancer. And so after I got over the anger, the irritation of being rejected, then I took dance lessons. And so after some learning and after a lot of practice and after a lot of fun experience, I was the guy that would go and ask nice ladies if they would like to dance. And most then said yes. So I turned a failure experience into a feedback, which gave me the knowledge that I needed to do. I needed to change something. If we're doing something, getting feedback that we don't like, we let that become an opportunity to grow and learn. If nobody ever told me no, I wouldn't have been motivated to go get lessons and become a better dancer.
That is so amazing, Sean. And I know that you are a great dancer. And I know that is one of the things that you do a lot. And this remembers me Napoleon Hill's quote saying, most great people have achieved their greatest success just one step beyond their greatest failure.
One dance step, right?
Yes, one dance step. Yes. So maybe we can do an exercise with our audience.
Absolutely.
And we invite people to do some inner reflection. And the exercise is called failure or feedback. Right, Sean?
That's a very interesting title, Fatima. Tell me more.
So we invite you to do some steps. First, think about a situation in which you felt or thought failure. You thought that that situation was a failure. Imagine something like that. Can you imagine something like that, Sean?
I have so many of those things that have happened in my life you would not even imagine, Fatima.
Yes. I have one also already in mind. Also, we all have, and now let's see what everybody thinks. So I hope you already have in mind a situation that you felt as a failure, and now me and Sean, we invite you to look at it in a different perspective, and we want you to ask yourself, what is the feedback from this situation? What are you supposed to learn here? Can you look to that situation in the different perspective? Sometimes we cannot see right away that that situation was not a failure. That situation was just a step from your next movement. Sometimes that situation is showing you a direction that you should take, a place where you need to go. And for example, for a long time, and this is an experience I had for a long time, I thought that I went through a failed relationship, for example. And it was not a failed relationship. It was a relationship that didn't work out, but I had so many great lessons from it that I feel that I am wiser now. And it allowed me to be in a better relationship now. So, for example, you can think in a relationship that you had, and maybe you learn more about food because that person loved food, or you learn about a place because that person was from a different place. Maybe you traveled more because that person made you travel more. So even if something didn't go the way you wanted or expected in that relationship, you had so many outcomes that focusing on just the failing part is not fair, comparing to all the good things you got from that relationship.
Absolutely, Fatima. And you bring up many great points there. And I'll add one too, in that in this world, we're not supposed to win every time. What do you mean, Sean? What are you talking about? Let's say, for instance, the profession of selling. A professional salesperson will receive no's. He or she may approach 10 people and offer them very professionally if and ask if that person's interested in their product or service. And 9 out of 10 will say no. And if that salesperson thought that the no was a failure, then she wouldn't go ask the 10th person who does need a new automobile, who does need a new appliance, who does need a new home, who does need a new jet. And so the world is set up for many no's, many failures, many feedbacks, and the 1 or 2 out of however many your ratio is actually provide for a beautiful living and get people who are ready to be involved with what you're offering an opportunity. So other people are not ready to go dancing. Other people are not ready to buy a home. You have to go through their numbers, and there's ratios to that. Over time, you'll say, I've got to talk to about 10 people before I have one that's interested in what I'm offering. And so over time, you'll get your ratios down if you're a sales professional, and you'll understand and know that each one of those no's is 1/10 of a yes.
Yes. And Sean, that's so interesting because I'm thinking right now that a no is an open door for a better opportunity, for a better timing, or for a better and wiser situation.
That's so awesome, Fatima. I love the word no. I love to hear the word no. That just makes me more inspired to continue to get better and to know different word no, to know that no is not a long-term situation. No is feedback. And I love feedback because I get to learn from feedback. If you fear failure, if you fear the word no, then you don't get to invest those things and make a better presentation, get your dance step better, learn from relationships and invest what you've learned into a different relationship, and you've become a stronger partner, and you've become wiser, and you're better understanding and better all the way around.
Yes. Know how to know when a no is a good no.
You're a poet and didn't even know it.
I love this. Next episode, we are going to speak about persistence. Please share with us your comments, your failures, like my
That's right.
failure word.
Share your failures with us. Embrace glorious failure.
Yes, and laugh with them and embrace the growth that come from your conscious, not failures, but tryings. Maybe we can invite people to switch a word here. Maybe we say not failure, maybe we say feedback.
I love that. Both of them start with an F. So there's got to be a connection.
Yes, like Fatima.
Fatima's fabulous failure feedback.
I love it. I hope that everybody enjoyed this episode as much as we did. Please share your comments. We have our podcast in YouTube, Spotify, any platform, on IGTV, on everywhere. So please share your thoughts with us and let's grow together. Right, Sean?
Absolutely, Fatima. Absolutely.
See you in the next episode.
Talk soon.
Talk soon. How do you say it's persistence, right?
In Texas, we call it persistence.
Persistence. I'm failing again. That is so cool. Because if I think, Sean, you have two different perspectives. Maybe we are already recording, but I can see it as a failure if I try to say in a Texas accent. And I can see it as a win if I'm saying in the Portuguese accent.
Your accent is wonderful, and we all have words that stick out to us, and definitely when you I won't call it struggle with an accent, but whenever you're able to invest that and it's part of you, so there's no reason to try to hide it. We embrace it, we enjoy it.
Maybe an improving accent.
Absolutely.
Because you can.
You deserve.
And you are a powerful creator.
Hi, I'm Fatima.
And I'm Sean.
And we are
Powerful Creators.
Episode number 11 of Powerful Creators podcast. Hey, Sean.
Hey, Fatima.
So today we are bringing this very cool word, persistence. Right, Sean?
I love it, Fatima. The power of persistence.
Yes. So let's start. What is persistence, Sean?
Persistence is not giving up, Fatima. In my mind, persistence is the opportunity to continue even when you're not feeling super awesome about something.
Wow. I love that. And I was reading Napoleon Hill, and he was saying he has a full chapter just about persistence, especially because this is one of the laws of success of Napoleon Hill Think and Grow Rich book. And he says that persistence is a state of mind, therefore it can be cultivated. And I like that.
That's so true, Fatima. Persistence is a state of mind, so it can be cultivated. I don't think we're born with persistence. I think it's something that we do cultivate. And I think that if we're passionate about something, it's easier to cultivate and it's easier to persist.
Yeah, I was also researching on the internet about the meaning of this word through dictionaries or other authors, and I read that it's also defined as a voluntary continuation of a goal direction action in spite of obstacles, difficulties, or discouragement. And you know that I really don't like to call them obstacles or something like that. But I like the way they say that is a voluntary continuation of a goal, direction, action. Because for me, when we have a defined goal, and this is something that we are going to speak in the next episode about decisions, taking decisions and having clear visions. When you have that clear vision, it's really important to have this persistence, especially because in the last episode we talked about failure. And if you don't keep trying, keep working, keep moving forward, you just don't get there. So you really need persistence. This is the secret ingredient for success.
I agree with you 100%, Fatima. This persistence is definitely the secret ingredient to getting from where you are to where you want to be. And so if we review the previous episode, we learned, we talked about how to change failure to feedback. It's a whole lot easier to be persistent whenever you're having feedback encourage you. So we turn something that's not super awesome into something that motivates us. And when we are motivated, we are more naturally persistent. If we could be naturally more persistent, then whatever we're looking for, our outcomes are going to be that much easier and funner to achieve.
Yes. And it's so interesting how these two words are connected, the episode from today and the episode from last time, because if you don't really move forward, if you don't try, if you don't do any action, you are not being persistent. So what takes you to the next step is believing that you can do it, even if you kind of fail, and we don't really want to call it fail. If you just if it doesn't work out at that point, you keep yourself persistent and you will get there.
With persistence, Fatima, you're naturally able to go through the numbers of experiences and, I won't say techniques, but experiences and times to be able to move through something, to gather enough times. If you have feedback that's not positive, but you know whenever you try again, there's a very good possibility then the next few outcomes, that's the word I was looking for, outcomes from events that you want to do, then you know that persistence will naturally build up. A lot of people really enjoy solving puzzles. And so they know that whatever they're doing is considered a puzzle that needs to be put together. And the curiosity and the motivation to solve drives us and helps us be persistent. So if we could reframe some of the things that are not where we want and help to become more naturally persistent, then the process becomes a lot funner. And even though the feedback we're receiving is not what we want, we're still enjoying ourselves through the process. We're still lifting our energy. We're still motivating ourselves without even thinking about it.
Yes, and we are allowing ourselves to get there because there is no substitute for persistence. There are so many people that are talented, that are so gifted, but if they don't have persistence, they won't get there, right?
Exactly. If you love what you're doing, it's easier to be persistent. But sometimes, like raking leaves out of the yard is just not that fun. But you have to be persistent and get it done.
Yes, and this is why I love, we are speaking about people, I love stories. And we know so many stories from our friends and from ourselves in which we were persistent and we were able to get the things that we wanted. But there are also many people that everybody knows, like Elvis Presley, for example. He was fired after his first performance. His manager told him many words that are not really good and that could made him quit from his dream of singing. Also, Steven Spielberg, he got rejected from the film school 3 times, as I read. We have more people, right, Sean?
Absolutely, Fatima. And let's dive a little deeper. Elvis and Steven Spielberg, their passion was so great for what they were doing. Persistence was almost like a friend walking arm in arm. If Elvis wasn't passionate about music and rock and roll, then he would have said, no big deal. I'll go over here and try farming or point or one of 100, different things that he could have done. Steven Spielberg was so passionate about movies and movie making and putting his unique fingerprint on movies and the movie business that you don't hear the word no. You're automatically persistent. When you're passionate about a topic, when you're passionate about something, it's easier to be persistent. So I would invite all of our audience to share some stories with us. Do reach out to us on our social media sites and share with us how persistence has helped you in an endeavor, and also how being a little more persistent would help you in future endeavors.
Yes, especially if you have a situation in which you feel that you have your huge passion there, no matter the condition in which you are, just go ahead. Just like Joanne Rowling, the author of Harry Potter's books, she was jobless, she was divorced, she was without any money, with a dependent child, and she was rejected by 12 major publishers. And she just persisted. No matter the condition she was, she believed it was her passion. And then she had this small publisher giving her a tiny advance of some money, and they published some copies, and suddenly she was selling millions. So if it's your passion, believe on it and be persistent. Also, just like, and that's interesting that you are speaking about passion, Sean, because we also have Michael Jordan that was cut from his high school basketball team. He was told that he wasn't good, and see in which great basketball player he became. Jim Carrey the same. He was booed off stage at his first comic stand-up, and today he's one of the most famous comedians. We have so many people that if they had quit at that time, in the very first time, they wouldn't be where they are right now.
Fatima, I would even go further and say that everyone that has created results in a big way, if they had stopped on the very first failure, the very first feedback that didn't agree, the very first no, none of the things that we enjoy today would be here. All of the scientific discoveries, all of the people in our lives and the things and the products and all the things that we enjoy, very little would be here if those people behind those products and services and people said no or quit and were not persistent. Persistence is something that is very important. I'm thinking about Thomas Edison, the famous inventor that invented all the many electrical gadgets and wizardry things that we still use today. If he would have given up, we wouldn't have the light bulb. And he had tried many thousands of times. And there was one time there was someone interviewed him, and they said, "What would you do if you hadn't invented a light bulb?" And he said, Edison said to the interviewer, "I wouldn't be talking to you right now. I'd still be in my laboratory." That's persistence.
Yes. So, how can someone develop persistence today? And we have some tips here, right, Sean?
Absolutely, Fatima. I would say the first thing to develop persistence is to reframe how you're thinking, and also to find your passion. We're not all going to be Elvis. We're not all going to be awesome singers, but we find our passion. Some people might be good salespeople. Some people might be sculptors. Some people might be good traders. Some people might be good homemakers. There's many things. When you're passionate about something, it's easy to reframe what's happened, and it's easy to invest what you've reframed into better feeling emotions, and those better feeling emotions will lift you into an easy state of persistence.
Yes, I love the way you used the expression, what makes your heart sing. You always asked me this many times in the beginning when I started being mentoring by you, Sean. You were always asking me, what makes your heart sing? And this is amazing. Also, in case you need to develop persistence in a task that is not your passion, let's put that situation also, I would suggest to notice your thoughts about that task that you need to do and make a conscious effort to dismiss those thoughts. What is exactly making you to not keep going with that task, and how can you overcome that? How can you make it fun? How can you make it more interesting? How can that have a really great side and make you wiser, make you more, I would say, in a growth process?
I have a couple of ideas, Fatima, to share some thoughts on your question. One of the first things that I would say is that if we're tasked with an activity that we don't really like, oftentimes, for instance, I'll go back to the example of raking the leaves from the yard. If you really don't like raking leaves from the yard, and you see them piling up, and no amount of persistence is motivating you to go pick those leaves up, hire somebody. Outsource those things that you can outsource that doesn't make your heart sing. But there's also another way to go about that. What if you have the opportunity of raking your yard? What if you reframe that and looked at it as more of a meditative event, where through the process of the raking, you're in the sunshine, you're allowing the rhythm of the moving the rake over the yard to be very meditative and more of an opportunity to relax and a more opportunity to clear your mind and be in a meditative state, if you will. Great time to think while you're doing yard work. But if it's something you hate, don't force yourself to do it. Find help with it and get some outside help. Because someone out there loves raking leaves. And if you connect the person that's passionate about the job that needs to be done, magic happens.
Exactly. I love that. I love how we can delegate to keep focused on what we want. At the same time, the developing persistence on some tasks, maybe they just mean by rephrasing, as you said, and trying to make it funny, trying to make it different. I was thinking now, for example, I know that some people don't like to travel, but they have to travel. So what you can do is maybe listening to Powerful Creators podcast during that travel. Maybe you can listen to any song that you love, some of our meditations, for example. So just make it funny and try to see always the good side of everything and how you can get to the end. Always look to where you want to go, and when you see the result, the outcome, you enjoy even more the process.
Absolutely, Fatima. That's a really, you bring some really, really great points up there. And I would invite the audience, anyone that is raking the leaves from your yard should definitely be listening to some of your wonderful music and meditation. So absolutely. And you are such an amazing musician, and it's just everybody should get to know your music. And I invite everybody to do that. Putting it all together and reframing and meditating, referencing something that you like to do, those are so powerful. And it takes the mundane task into something that, even if it's not super exciting, we get the job done and we have a good experience doing it. And we move on to that thing that really does make our hearts sing.
Thank you very much for your words, Sean. And I have to share that you are a really great mentor and you taught me a lot about persistence. Some of the other things I learned with you about this topic is to take inspired action right away, for example, and also to create a friendly alliance or a mastermind with one or more persons who would encourage me to follow through my plan or purpose. And we did create this mastermind, and it really helped me keeping focused, keeping persistent, and achieving so many great things that I achieved in the last years.
Exactly, Fatima. The Mastermind Alliance is one of the most profound things that I ever learned in my life. And that's saying a lot. And I thank Napoleon Hill every day for bringing that to light. Without the Mastermind Alliance, many of the things and many of the things we enjoy, to the people that we enjoy them with, wouldn't be nearly as rewarding and nearly as fulfilling. And one mind plus one plus one is not two when it comes to a mastermind alliance. Two minds together are multiples. And it's really amazing. You're an amazing person to be in a mastermind alliance with. We're doing wonderful work. We're sharing our mission with the world. And that definitely makes my heart sing.
Thank you so much, Sean. I share the same words. I also have another tip that I was reading this week from Kim Kiyosaki's book. She, on the Rich Woman book, she was saying how important it is to not give attention to people that don't have the experiences as we have, but they are always giving advice. So I would say close your mind against any negative or discouraging influences, especially relatives, friends, or acquaintances that don't have any experience or on achieving what you want to achieve. So, for example, if you have the dream of a business, a specific business, and you have someone saying that you should not do it because it's hard, because it's complicated, because whatever it is, just look if that person has already any successful business. If she doesn't, why are you giving attention to someone that doesn't have what you want to achieve? That won't be wise. Instead of that, maybe you should talk with someone that already has a successful business, and maybe that person will help through your persistence on getting a successful business, not just a business, but a successful one.
So, Fatima, it sounds like what you're really describing there is you have to be careful with who you're surrounding yourself with. You have to be careful with who you take advice from. And you should qualify the person before you let their advice get inside your brain. Is that right?
Yes, also. That really influences your persistence. I can see that some people quit fast because they have a boyfriend or a father or a mom or a colleague or a best friend that doesn't encourage, doesn't empower. And sometimes it's like having a cup of water. If you put water of empowerment in that cup, it will feel in a positive way. But if you take out that water with some people that are always taking that water out and don't encourage you, you will lose the persistence. You will lose the water inside that cup.
The power of association is so important, Fatima. And you just made a really good descriptive picture and story. There's always someone, if you allow them to drain the water out of your cup, and if the water in your cup is the same thing as your mental energy, then that's a really great analogy that you put there. If someone's draining the water out of your cup, if somebody's putting heavy energy in your activities, then you have to reevaluate that association. And if you really want to excel, you have to surround yourself with positive, like-minded people.
Yes. So for today's episode, we have these takeaways. Surround yourself with the best encourage and empowering people you can, especially with people that already achieved what you want to achieve. Create a friendly alliance or mastermind with someone or one or more people that will encourage you. Take inspired action right away. Create a plan that is expressed in a continuous action, and that can be backed up by burning desire for its fulfillment. And notice your thoughts. Remember how important it is to keep believing, to keep doing positive affirmations, to keep taking inspired action, and to keep your alignment and ability to allow anything to come to you.
When you have that wonderful mastermind, Fatima, each person lifts the other, and persistence then is almost easy. Is it possible? Could we reframe persistence as something that takes effort? Could we reframe that as something that is effortless? Yes, I believe we can. When you have those people around you that are lifting you, that encourage you, that never let you give up, if they're a little bit down one day, you're up and you lift them back. And if the other is down a little bit or has something they're working on, you offer help and encouragement. So having those people around you make persistence fun and easy. And that's how I'd like to invite our listeners to don't let persistence be a heavy cloud. Let persistence be part of the natural lifting. And when you're there, everything else is a whole lot easier to manifest. It's easier to have that point of focus, and it's easier for things to come into point of focus. It's easier to cross paths with the people you need to cross paths with. It's easier to get your yard rate. It's easier to get anything done you need to be done.
Yes. So the question today is, do you want to embrace persistence? And if the answer is yes, way to go. If the answer is, let's say that you need to hear our next episode about decisions. Right, Sean?
Decisions. Decisions, Fatima.
Yes, so don't lose our next episode about decisions, taking decision, being a decision maker. It will be next Tuesday, and we will be back. right, Sean?
I'm counting the minutes. So awesome, Fatima. Wonderful.
Yes. Share your comments of today's episode on the YouTube channel, the IGTV, the Spotify, any platform that we have. Remember that we have these episodes in Portuguese on the YouTube with subtitles. And we are here, right, Sean, next Tuesday.
Absolutely. Come join us. We look forward to having you.
Talk soon.
Talk soon.
Can I share this on the podcast? I don't know.
Sure. Maybe we do like an outtakes video, like a bloopers.
Yeah, exactly.
Because you can.
You deserve.
And you are a powerful creator.
Hi, I'm Fatima.
And I'm Sean.
And we are
Powerful Creators.
Episode 12 of Powerful Creators podcast. Hey, Sean.
Hey, Fatima, how are you? Hey, Fatima, how are you?
I'm great. And you?
I am fantastic.
I love that.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Anytime we get together and have fun and share ideas and thoughts, it's an amazing day. So thank you very much for that.
And it's always a great decision, right, Sean?
Ah, ha, ha. No pun intended, right?
Today, we are bringing the power of being an effective decision maker, and I love this.
It is a great topic, Fatima. I can't think of anyone or many times I didn't need help clarifying the facts around making a decision.
Yes, and it's really important. I have noticed that anytime I do a decision, it's a step moving forward in the direction I want. And if we don't take decisions, we are kind of, swimming in the same water.
It reminds me of, if we're not able to make a decision, it reminds me of your car at the beach and the tire is spinning in the sand. So You're using a lot of energy, you're thinking about it a lot, but you're not going anywhere. How do we get people out of the sand, Fatima?
Yes, how do we get? By making decisions.
Yes.
And maybe we start by asking, what does it mean to make a decision? What is a decision? Because I know, for instance, that I was doing a course from Bob Proctor maybe 2 years ago, a couple years ago. I was feeling, and I remember that he was saying decision makers go to the top, while those who do not make decisions seem to go nowhere, like we were saying now. And I was feeling that making a decision is like answering a question. It brings order to our mind. It allows us to feel commitment for what we want to achieve. Do you agree?
Absolutely, Fatima. When you have commitment to something that you would like, a point of focus, an experience, an activity, an outcome, then decisions have to be made to get you from point A to point B. It simply can't work any other way.
Yes. And sometimes we do some confusion between stating preferences or making decisions. Have you ever felt that?
I agree, Fatima. And when you preference, that's just like you're just chatting about something. You stated a preference, but you haven't made a decision to go from where you are now to where you want to be.
Yes. I feel that the big difference is that we do feel a true force of change when we do committed decisions. It's different than just feeling some preference or wish. We feel that there is something stronger when we do a committed decision. Sometimes we even feel that something is being lifted from our shoulders. Do you feel that?
I feel that a lot, especially with a decision that needs to be made that maybe is going to cause yourself some discomfort. Let's talk about maybe a decision to lose some weight. You're obviously going to have to change some activities that you're doing. You're going to have to exercise more, and that's going to be a little bit uncomfortable, especially the next day after you get home from the gym and every part of your body aches. But it's a decision that needs to be made, and you haven't put it off. So when you make a decision, think the lift that you're talking about is the commitment and the moving forward and beginning a process that you know needs to be done. And I think we could probably come up with many different examples of things that we know we need to do, but we haven't made the decision to do. Isn't that easy to do?
Yeah, I feel that not only that heaviness is being lifted from your shoulders because you took the decision, but also there is a new energy here. So when you make a decision, there are many things that are involved. Your new, decided, and clear thoughts get you in a different frequency. And that allows you to tune into the frequency or vibration of your decision, which enable resources that you need to come to you easily and naturally. So you are operating in a much higher level of awareness just because you did a decision.
Very, very well said, Fatima. I agree with that 100%. It's been my experience that my best decisions are based on inspired ideas. If I have an inspired idea, that's going to lead me to taking inspired action. And inspired action almost always leads to amazing results. Inspired action requires a decision to be made. Do I go left? Do I go right? And so that's basically the easy, basic part of it. But getting to the point of making a decision, sometimes we have to nudge ourselves.
Yes, that is the law of opposites, right, Sean? Do I go left or do I go right?
Exactly. In that particular case, you have a 50% chance of that decision being the exact outcome that you want. And you have a 50% chance of having feedback that you'll have to reevaluate later if it's not exactly the direction you needed to go. Maybe your map was turned upside down and the right should have been the left. So we have to be okay in taking that decision and making that decision and then adjusting later.
Yes, that indecision is setting internal conflicts that can escalate into mental and emotional wars. So when you are like, should I go or should I not go? Should I say, should I not say? Should I leave or not leave? Do or not do? That is bringing an energy that is not the one you want. And you start feeling like we were saying in the beginning of the episode, going to nowhere. And this is, there is a word for this that is ambivalence.
Exactly, Fatima. Exactly. The not making the decision is heavy and it feels like that weight on your shoulders. But once you do make the decision, all of a sudden the weight's not there. And even if the decision didn't work out exactly like you wanted, the weight is gone and you'll be able to make better decisions. You'll be in a better mental frame of mind. Your energy will be so much better that regardless of what happens, you're going to be in a better place to have better outcomes and better experiences and energy that lifts in the future.
Yes. This can be taught since child, right? I was practicing this with my daughter. Instead of just saying to her, do you want this? I was asking her, do you want the yellow or the orange? Mm-hmm. Do you want to go to the park or just do a walk on the street? And these kind of simple decisions that look simple for us, for a small child, it's the power of making a decision that is already being taught. And you can try this with your kids, with anybody around you.
Fatima, you're an amazing and great mommy, and I know that this is just one of the things that you're teaching your daughter, and it's so important to learn these things when you're young, because just like anything, when you start small and you have some experiences that give you positive feedback, you have some wins, you have some outcomes that you really hoped for, that gives you confidence. And as you're starting small and building small, it's an opportunity to grow. A lot of people are paralyzed by indecision, and that heavy weight that you're feeling is the universe prodding you forward, telling you that you need to make that decision. But if you haven't been good at making decisions and you're not in practice, it's easier to start small and move up from there.
Yes. And Sean, I was researching about the word decision. It's a Latin word that means to cut from the roots. So therefore, a decision means cutting from any other possibility. You cut from the roots. This means that you are committed to achieve a result, cutting yourself from any other possibility. And this is amazing. This really allows you to move forward. You just need to remember that you have the courage to make a decision. And if you feel you didn't learn that as you were younger, there is no worry. You can reprogram yourself. You can repeat to yourself, I have the courage to make a decision. I can do it. I can decide right now what I want. And sometimes people say, I don't have the resources. I cannot decide this because I don't have the conditions. But that is not the first step. The first step is making the decision. I buy a house. I buy a car. I change my job. I read more development books. And as soon as you decide it, as soon as you say, I change my routine, as soon as you make that decision, all the energy changes, and suddenly, in a natural way and in an easy way, you have the resources coming to you. If you didn't have the money, somewhere the money starts coming to you in an easy way. If you feel that you are very sleepy in the morning, suddenly you start waking up early because you did the decision that you are going to wake up early, that you are already waking up early. And just by doing a decision, you have everything changing for your highest good.
That's such a beautiful way to describe that, Fatima. And I know that those processes work, because I've used what you've mentioned and what you shared with me in my personal life, and I know those things work. It's really amazing that, and I'll give you an example. If someone says, I don't have enough money, number one, I really dislike how that sounds. You should never say, I don't have any money. I don't have enough money. You should say, how can I get what I'm looking for that doesn't take away from someone else, that adds to the world and adds value? So if we're short on money, we have to use our imagination more. If we've got plenty of money, we don't have to use our imagination that much. But either way, we know that we can be confident in our decision making because we have those experiences behind us. It's real easy to be a good decision maker when you practiced at it and you knowingly think about, yeah, I'm a pretty good decision maker. Most of the time, things work out just about how I like. This is the conversation I'm having with myself. Some different part of the conversation I'm having with myself and decision making is I'm going to trust my emotions on this. How does this make me feel when I'm visualizing either outcome or an outcome, the desired outcome in my mind? Am I feeling good about that? Is it lifting me? Is it lifting other people? Then that's probably a pretty good decision. If the opposite is true, maybe we need to reevaluate that decision and make the opposite of it or shelve it for a little while. We trust our feelings, as they say, trust your gut, trust your emotions whenever you're in that process, and you'll have more often than not the experience and the outcome that you're looking for.
Yes, Sean. Also, how do you feel about big decisions? Because I know your story, you know mine, and I know that in my life, the biggest decisions that I made, they took me to the best places and opportunities in my life.
Absolutely. Yes, we do know each other's stories and we've made some big decisions. And we, as best friends, as business partners, we make decisions all the time. It's easier together. And that goes back to our mastermind alliance. When you're able to talk about a decision that needs to be made with a trusted advisor, then that's even a better decision that gets made.
Yes, especially when you already trust on the person and you know that the person has the best intention with you and that any decision is going to be for the best of all.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Sometimes you're a better decision maker as you're talking out the possibilities. You talk about the outcome that you want, your point of focus. You talk about what could happen. You talk about ways to improve the likelihood that what you want to happen will happen. And that's an amazing thing. So, audience, I would invite everyone to, if you haven't yet, develop and cultivate a relationship or relationships. Maybe you ask one person about auto mechanics and you ask somebody else about home repair, but have someone you can trust in the areas where you want to make a decision.
Yes. And speaking about how our decisions can influence others, we have an exercise to do with the audience today. We want to help you taking a decision today. So we invite you to think about a decision that you feel you need to take. And we have 4 questions to share with you. These 4 questions come from Bob Proctor, and I'm going to share each one. And I want you to answer these questions regarding the decision you need to take. Let's go, Sean.
Beautiful. I love it.
Let's do it then.
Awesome.
So think about a situation in which you need to take a decision. And answer these 4 questions now. First, do you want to be, to do, or to have that? Let's go to the second question. Will being, doing, or having this move me in the direction of my goal? Third, is being, doing, or having this in harmony with God's laws or the laws of the universe? And fourth, will being, doing, or having this violate the rights of others? So these are the questions that you should answer, and it's really, really important if you say yes or no to them. What do you feel about these questions, Sean?
Fatima, I love the questions, and it really brings an opportunity for people to think. Is what I'm looking for, is it helping others? Is it in harmony with what I'm looking for? Is it in harmony with God's laws or the laws of the universe? That's a powerful question. In what way will being, doing, or having move you in the direction of your goal or your point of focus? So I would invite our listeners to share with us their thoughts on this exercise. What do you want to do or have? And I'll even add something. If you knew you couldn't fail, what would you do?
That's a great question, Sean. I love that.
For sure. Absolutely. It's powerful because most people, when they're making a decision, they automatically conclude that they can't get it before they make the decision. So they don't ever make the decision. They've already given themselves negative feedback and not even a chance for a decision to work.
Yes. I like the way you told me to think of the decision-making process as an experiment. Remember?
Absolutely. Absolutely. There's no negative emotion attached to an experiment that didn't give you the results that you wanted. So if you live your life as an experimenter, then the feedback that you get and the experiences you have are only giving you feedback. So there's no failure, like there's no winning, there's no losing in an experiment, and it takes the pressure off. There's none of that, that negative self-talk. Oh, if you do that, what will people think? If you do that, what would happen? If you do that, don't think like that. You got to get rid of those thoughts in your head that are not positive. And a good way to transition from being confident all the time or most of the time as to versus where you might be right now is to use that experiment idea. That's just an experiment. I'm going to make this decision and I'm going to see what the outcome is. Either way, positive or negative, I'll have feedback. I'll have the answer to my experiment, to my hypothesis, and I'll be better and smarter after.
Yes, every time you take a decision, you are moving forward, you are training yourself, and you learn to trust in your intuition also, right? I would suggest for our audience to write down the questions that we just did a few minutes before. Write down in a place that you can read every time you need to make a huge decision. And don't forget to take time for yourself, meditate, and trust your feelings and emotions. As you, Sean, are always telling me, our emotions and our feelings are our guide. So always check, what do you feel about that situation? Answer the questions that we brought here from Bob Proctor, and remember that each time you are taking a decision, you are moving forward to your goal. You are closer to your goal, and you are changing the energy around you in a way that is very good for you.
And that is so important, Fatima, changing your energy, lifting your energy. This is something that you can make. We can even make a process from this. And as we have a process, we don't think about the mechanism of getting from there to there. If you have something in your mind that you need to make a decision about, number one, meditate on the idea. Number two, allow yourself to get some ideas. Ideas will come to you. Those are inspired ideas. Inspired ideas lead to inspired actions. When you have an inspired action and you have allowed yourself to receive that idea and that feedback, it's easy to make a decision. So quiet your mind, wait for ideas, receive the idea, make a decision. It can be just as easy as that, and it should be. As you get better, as you get more proficient at it, you make that process a lot faster. But it's not an issue if you're just starting out or you want to improve this process. Take a little bit of time with that, especially the big decisions. Big decisions need some time to make sure that you're clear on something. And as they say, sleep on it. If you're looking for the answer to something, it's always been a really cool tool for me in that I'll think about what I'm wanting an answer for before I go to bed. And when I wake up, most of the time, 95% of the time, I'll receive an idea that's the answer and a good way to lead me in a decision that I'm going to be very, very pleased with. And it's going to help others, and it's going to lift myself and the around me in the world.
Absolutely. It's so interesting that you are bringing that, because I can see my big decisions, most of them, I didn't have an idea about what would happen after my decision. But I was trusting my emotions, I was trusting my feelings. I knew that decision had to be made. And it's wonderful how everything unfolds when you just take the decision. Just that. Even if you sleep, like you were saying, sleep on it, in the following day, you feel the energy of taking the decision. You know that you need to take it. You have the inspired ideas, as you were saying, Sean, and everything changes. You just need to make the decision. So if you have, you audience, if you have any decision to make, don't postpone that. The faster, the quicker, the sooner you do the decision, the sooner things changed for your better.
Absolutely, Fatima. That's wonderful, wonderful advice. Beautifully said.
And make the decision today of listening to our podcast next week on Tuesday. We are here. Share your biggest decisions with us in the comments in our podcast. I believe that will inspire other people taking big decisions, especially in terms of the topic, right, Sean? Decisions about relationships, decisions about buying a house, decisions about changing a job, starting a new business from home. I don't know, but having a child, there are many big decisions that we can take.
Absolutely, Fatima. Absolutely. And those decisions will, number one, just taking the decision will lift you. Number two, when the decision works out like you want it to, use the process that we've talked about, you'll feel even better. So everyone in our wonderful audience, we are doing coaching. Fatima and I, we chat with listeners and help make good decisions. We are a great mastermind alliance, and we invite you to reach out to us if you need some help with a big decision, would like our input and thoughts. We'd be happy to be a part of your process as well.
Yes. Thank you so much for sharing with us and for trusting us, who is already having coaching with us. It has been an amazing journey, amazing results, and it has been an amazing experience to help so many people.
It's actually something, Fatima, that I was a little bit reluctant to do in the beginning, but to see the outcomes, to see the improvements, to see the ideas that we're sharing with people that are really changing their lives for the better, it's something that's really fantastic, and I look forward to that part of our business.
Yes, thank you so much, everybody. I hope after today's episode you can make that decision that you have been postponing for a few days already. Just take the decision, don't postpone, and enjoy the process.
Absolutely, Fatima. That's the key. Enjoy the process. I love how you say that.
Bye-bye, everybody. See you next Tuesday.
Bye, everyone. See you soon. Talk soon.
See you soon.
Awesome.
I'm tired.
That takes focus. It takes focus to do that.
Because you can.
You deserve.
And you are a powerful creator.
Hi, I'm Fatima.
And I'm Sean.
And we are
Powerful Creators.
Welcome to the Powerful Creators podcast. Hey, Sean.
Hey, Fatima. How are you?
I'm great. And you?
Fantastic. Thank you for asking.
As always.
Absolutely.
So we had the Valentines and we shared meditations, and we received some questions from our audience asking how to manifest a soulmate. And I believe that the title of this episode, Am I the Partner I Want to Attract, is already a great tip, right, Sean?
Exactly. There's a lot in those few words. Am I the partner I want to attract? Wow, what a question.
And what is the answer, Sean?
I would say yes, of course.
I would say that everything starts with ourselves, right? And we forget that most of the times. We are in a very, I would say sometimes some people feel alone. They want to find something outside when they need to feel it inside first.
Absolutely, Fatima. We manifest from the inside out. So if we take that into account, we know that we are powerful, and we know that if we are in alignment, then that soulmate will come very quickly.
Yes, I agree. And that's why we shared 2 weeks ago, we shared self love affirmations, how to love ourselves more, how to learn to give value to ourselves. And as soon as we find in ourselves what we really like, it's easier to love everyone around us.
When we love everyone around us, that's a good indication that we are loving ourselves as well. And I think that's really where finding the soulmate starts, Fatima. If you love yourself and you have a good relationship with the voice inside of your brain, inside of your soul, then you have a really good chance of finding that special person. And often it just takes a few little adjustments. And I think that's what we're going to talk about today, right?
Yes, yes. And Sean, when we already feel good with ourselves, we feel completed, we feel worthy, we feel special already. I believe that we are ready to manifest love. And one of the things that I believe it happened with me is that we feel so good, we tune into a good frequency. And when you tune into that good frequency, you attract someone in good frequency, also in a good vibration. So this means we also have the opposite way, that is, when we vibrate in a low frequency, a frequency of lack, of missing, of not having, we attract people like that, with that vibration. And we ask, why am I always manifesting the same kind of guy, right? It's because we don't change our vibration. So in my case, I remember that doing a checklist of things that I would love on the person, the personality, the connection. I remember that I really wanted someone with a spiritual connection. And, when you write that down, it becomes clear what do we want to manifest.
Absolutely. You're very, very correct in that we must describe in every detail our perfect partner, our perfect soulmate, everything from his or her height, his or her hair color, his or her build, his or her personality, her way of doing things, how he smiles. All of those things are so important, and we must really describe in detail, or we won't even know when he's come right beside us. If he might be sitting right next to us on a bus or a subway or a car, and we don't know what we've attracted, what we wanted, so she passes right by.
Yeah. The most interesting thing, Sean, that you taught me is that there is always someone out there that is seeking someone exactly as us.
That is so true. That is so true, Fatima. Someone is looking for you, Mr. or Mrs. Audience Listener, right now. And so, number one, take the stress off of yourself. And a lot of people say, oh, there's no one out there. All the good ones are taken. No, no, no. There's many people out there waiting to have a wonderful interaction and a great relationship, and who knows where you go from there. But there are wonderful people. There's so many people in the world, and they are looking for you just like you are.
Yes, I need to share this. I received a message today, a voice message from a friend. She was doing my Manifest Your Soulmate meditation more than 1 year ago. And she told me, Fatima, I was not expecting the way I felt during the meditation because I'm already married. And I didn't notice how unhappy I am. I have a relationship for like 10 or 20 years, more than 10 years. I know that the daughter is already a teenager. And she was just saying, I felt that there is someone out there in the same vibration as I am, someone that wants to grow with me, that wants to go to move forward in life, to learn more, to connect with the topics that I love. She was describing the person, and she felt that that person existed. And suddenly, she told me that she found someone like that, exactly as she felt during the meditation. And this is so powerful because sometimes we get together with someone, but in the end of a few years, everyone is living their own life, even being living together. And we need to find a way to create a connection. We need to find a way to vibrate in the same vibration again, or each one needs to understand what is the way, right, Sean?
Absolutely, absolutely. And there's so much involved in that short story, which is amazing for your friend. I'm very happy that she's found that person and that she's able to open a new chapter in her life. And when we use your meditation, we can get bits of glances into what we really want. And when we really visualize that person, when we can see her, when we can see him, when we can feel her, we can feel him, we know, number one, when we have faith in the process, like you always teach me, Fatima, we have faith in the process. And once we have sat ourselves down and determined the perfect person for us, at the other part is easy. The universe handles the other part. The universe will cross your path. You just have to, our work is to visualize the perfect person. And once that's done, that's the hardest part. Everything else falls into place. Then it's time to take inspired action. You don't want to go through all this process and the perfect person cross your path and then not take action. How do you take the best inspired action, Fatima?
There are many ways of doing that. For example, meditating. We have the Manifest Your Soulmate meditation. We have the couples meditation also. So take inspired action by taking a time to yourself, stop, relax, breathe, and just concentrate yourself on what you want to manifest. And then you start having the insights, but you must believe. You should not say, oh, like you were saying, the good ones are taken. I never find the good one. They are always all the same. If you say that, you are already limiting yourself. So go ahead.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry to interrupt you. I was going to say, absolutely. Absolutely. You don't want to limit yourself. And what if you find yourself in a position where you've done this, you've done the meditation, you've done all the work, and the lines have been crossed, everything has, the path of the other person is sitting right in front of you, right next to you. What's the best thing you can do? My best advice is to smile and say hello. What happens if you don't say anything? What happens if you don't take action? We must take action. We take a small amount of physical action. We take a very small amount of patience. It takes a little bit of time for these things to incubate and lines to cross, depending on how well you're in alignment with yourself and the universe and all of your energy. But definitely don't hesitate and don't not take the opportunity to smile and say hello. How are you? And go from there.
Yes, I must shared a little bit from the season 1 of Powerful Creators. We had an episode with Manuela Rodrigues, a mindfulness teacher, and she found her soulmate in another country, in another in a place completely different. And sometimes, as you were saying, the things don't happen right away, but it's not the right timing yet. So sometimes, and I remember in her story, she took inspired action in November or December, and then the things only happened in January. So sometimes you need to give time and let the things unfold on the perfect timing.
Absolutely. Everything in an easy, relaxed manner and a healthy and positive way in its own perfect timing. So that's such great advice, Fatima. Thank you.
Yes.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And just to be clear, taking some inspired action. Now, you ladies, it's okay to flip your hair, and guys, if you need to stand up straight and maybe flex your muscles or something, that's okay too. Let them know you're interested. Don't be shy.
Yes, let's spread love. Also, Sean, I'm going to take this this little message from you now to also say to people, if you already have someone, please experiment to do a meditation together. And there are so many wonderful couples meditations out there. They really, if you already think that you have a wonderful connection with your partner, this kind of couples meditation, they really put you closer. And even if you already have a very good physical and emotional connection, having a spiritual connection is really powerful. So give it a try. Ask them if they want to meditate, and even if they think that is something weird, in the end it's so powerful to be able to just look into their eyes, touch their hands, and feel closer because of the meditation. Meditation has really many benefits, and sometimes we don't speak the loved ones.
Absolutely, absolutely. What are some manifest or what I'm sorry, what are some affirmations, Fatima, that people can keep in their mind just to kind of get them in the habit of being in the right mindset?
So regarding love, we shared a few these last 2 weeks on the social media. So anyone can go to Powerful Creators on the Facebook and on the Instagram, and also Twitter and TikTok and YouTube. That's where we have many meditations right now.
Awesome. Very
And
good.
we have many affirmations there. What maybe I would share is 3 kinds of affirmations. First, the meditation in which you feel good, you know that you deserve. So you can say, I'm worthy, I am special, I am a great catch. And this kind of affirmation really empowers yourself. And then the kind of meditation that allows you to think how positive it is the situation. For example, dating is a positive, healthy, and fun experience, because this way you make it fun, you make it positive. Some people have already, I think everybody already had a bad experience in life, and sometimes we bring all that bad baggage to the present. So just allow it to be positive this time. And then the third kind of affirmation is the one in which you allow the process to happen. For example, I manifest a deep, happy, and loving relationship. And, we have more affirmations out there. Just give a look to our social media.
Fantastic, Fatima. Those are some really useful tools and a really amazing process that we've talked about today. And I know that people are going to get a lot out of that. And I can't wait to hear all of the success stories in our social media. So definitely, audience, let us know how you're going. Number one, manifest that wonderful soulmate. Number two, once you've entered that relationship, spend time on it. You have to water the flowers in your garden. You have to pull the weeds out. Don't neglect. Enjoy. Life is meant to be fun, and it's meant to be shared.
Yes. And just to finish, don't forget to write down a checklist of the things you really enjoy in yourself and that you enjoy in your partner or in the one that you want to manifest. This checklist, when you write down, it really helps to clarify what are the most important things for you. And you know what? If you just say, I want to manifest a wonderful relationship, that is not enough. What is a wonderful relationship for you? So write down all the details. For some people, they can be more physical. For other people, they can be more emotional, personality traits, anything. Just write. And please, a tip. Don't write, I don't want this, I don't want that. Because when you write in the negative, you are attracting, right? If you say, I don't want a selfish guy, I don't want someone that smokes, for example. If you write down that, it's not how the brain works. So write everything in the most positive way you can find. For example, if you don't want to say, how do you say, I don't want someone that smokes? Just say, I want someone with healthy habits, someone that has a good routine, for example, and that will help a lot. Right, Sean?
So true, Fatima. Absolutely. That was such a wonderful bit of advice. Yes, you don't say, oh, I want to have a person that doesn't do this, doesn't do that. If you're using doesn't, that's the wrong way to affirm. Always affirm in the positive, always affirm in the way you want somebody, in the way you see it already happening in the future, and always use the positive. Great advice. Thank you for that.
Yes, I hope everybody's feeling love right now from me and Sean to you. Believe in yourself. If you don't have someone, that person is coming. It's already coming. Say that. The person, the perfect partner, I am already is already coming to me. I'm already manifesting, and if you already have one, try to connect closer to that person. And we are here. You can send an email for us or leave a comment about how you feel right now in terms of soulmate, in terms of love.
We love to hear your stories. We love you, our audience, and such an amazing journey. And we're happy to be a part of lending one little bit of advice. You know, often in these podcasts, Fatima and I give so many little wisdoms and gems, and we hope that we know that some of these things are connecting with you, that person right now that's listening to this podcast and was having the same question. How am I going to find my soulmate? What do I need to change? What do I need to do? We just talked about several of the things that are going to unlock if you follow and you have faith in this process. If you follow this process and you have faith and you do what Fatima and I have suggested, you're going to get results. And we can't wait for you to share them with us and tell us how your journey is improving.
Yes. And don't forget to answer to the question, am I the partner I want to attract?
Absolutely. If you're not the partner, maybe you should make some adjustments.
In yourself first, right? Before you try to manifest someone.
Exactly. Don't try to change the world. We start with changing ourselves.
Yes. Great way to finish this episode from today. Next Tuesday, we are here at the same time, the same place.
Sounds great. I'll see you next Tuesday, Fatima. How wonderful.
Next Tuesday, Sean. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
We still speak before Tuesday, right, Sean?
Of course.
Because you can.
You deserve.
And you are a powerful creator.